Week 12 of the fantasy football season. Here's a few kickers I have his sleepers this week. The first kicker, Daniel Carlson of the Vegas Raiders. Indoor game once again here for this Raider team. Cleveland coming in with their bend but don't break defense at times, and they give up the 8th most fantasy points to kickers on the season. And the last few weeks here for Carlson, Week 9 versus Jacksonville 3. Week 10 at Denver, he didn't do anything in that game. And Week 11 versus Dallas, a good kicking game it was for him, hitting 3 field goals and an extra point. So Carlson, he plays indoors, like I said. This Raider offense, it stalls out a lot where they got to settle for field goals. And this week, like I said, versus Cleveland, giving up the 8th most fantasy points to kickers on the season. And Carlson has a decent boot where 45, 55-yard ranges are a problem for him. I think he's a sleeper this week's kicker, Chad Ryland of the Arizona Cardinals, out there in 94% of fantasy leagues. In the last few weeks, some down weeks, it's been for Chad Ryland, where he had 3 games in a row from Week 6 to 9 with double-digit fantasy points. Week 6 at the Colts, 11. Week 7 versus Green Bay, 12. Week 9 at Dallas, 10. Week 10 at Seattle, 2. And Week 11 versus San Francisco, 4 fantasy points. So this week, Jacksonville coming in. I know the defense gives up the 3rd least amount of fantasy points to kickers on the season. This game could possibly be a high-scoring game between these two teams, where Jacksonville's defense has been hit or miss all season long, and Chad Ryland, he's had some good ball games this season, where he's had 5 games with double-digit fantasy points on the year. So after 2 down weeks, and this week, I think Ryland will get some more opportunities with Jacksonville coming in. He's a sleeper option this week. In the final kicker, Andy Borregales of the New England Patriots. So surprisingly, Borregales, he's out there in tons of fantasy leagues right now, still in 84%. In the last couple weeks, he's going out there putting up some all right ball games. It's not off the chart numbers for Borregales, but he's been consistent all season long, and he's on one of the better offenses in the league as well in the Patriots. Week 9 versus Atlanta, 6. Week 10 at Tampa Bay, 4. Week 11 versus the Jets, 9. And this week here, a great matchup at the Cincinnati Bengals, where we know their defense can't stop anyone. Teams have been in the red zone early and often and all season long. And I think this week, Andy Borregales, he's going to get some opportunities in this ball game once again. And like I said, this is a high-powered New England Patriot offense led by Drake May, where chances will be there, I believe, for Borregales this week. So that's a few kickers. I have his sleepers for Week 12 of the fantasy football season.